and I immigrated to Britain. And I was happy for a while. But then, around 2003, I started to realize the extent of Jewish lobby in Britain. I found it peculiar that at the time Britain was taken into an illegal war, it was the Jewish lobby that was funding the Labour government.
Mm-hmm. And this is the war in Iraq that you're...
For sure, 2003. Yeah. At a certain stage, I realized the extent of Jewish and Zionist influence within the neoconservative school.
Mm-hmm. And what
that set the agenda to this war.
And is there any difference? You mentioned, we've mentioned AIPAC, and we've also mentioned the UK pro-Zionist lobby. Are these sort of one and the same? Are there differences between the two?
It is a big question. It is a big question. But categorically, and this is how I work in my book, rather than working as a sociologist or as an historian, or this is enough, I work as a philosopher. I operate as a philosopher. I'm educated as a philosopher. And what I really do, I divide Jewish identity into different categories. So, for instance, those who identify as Jews are sometimes those who regard themselves as the followers of the Torah, believers, observant Jews. That basically could be an innocent category in many cases. Second category are those who are defining themselves as Jews because they have Jewish ancestry, parents or what, or grandparents or whatever. But the third category is the most interesting, is those who regard themselves primarily as Jews. Sound very strange. The Zionist, one of the arch early Zionists who ended up Israeli president, Chaim Weizmann, said that there are no American Jews, French Jews, English Jews. There are Jews who live in America, Jews who live in France, Jews who live in Britain. What he really meant is the Jewishness is a primary quality. Now, whether the AIPAC and the Labour Friends of Israel or Conservative Friends of Israel have the same agenda, this is one question. What is clear, that they all operate as third category Jews. They see themselves primarily as Jews, which means that they succumb to their tribal interests. Their interests are prior to the interest of America or the interest of Britain or the interest of humanity. And this is very frightening. This is very frightening when a tribal lobby is leading America into war. This is not a war that necessarily, I think necessarily not, going to serve American interests.
And what do you think some of the consequences could be of a war?
This is the biggest and the most frightening issue. It is very frightening. Because everyone understands that a conflict with Iran can escalate into a devastating nuclear conflict. Not because Iran possesses a bomb. I'm pretty sure that Iran doesn't possess a bomb, and all the intelligence briefings suggest that they don't. And the Iranians also say that having a bomb is totally, completely against the religion, and being the Islamic Republic of Iran, I obviously believe them. This can escalate into a nuclear conflict because Israel is definitely a nuclear superpower, and it's very irresponsible to its own actions due to lack of understanding the consequences of its actions. But we are sure that any attack on Iran would lead to a huge retaliation. And from that point, it is not clear where it is heading.
Well,
now,
please.
This is very important. A nuclear conflict would leave millions of casualties in the region. But it would also mature into a huge radioactive cloud. And this cloud will start to travel. And at a certain stage, it would reach Europe. Germany, Austria, Italy, Poland. And how do you think people in Poland or in Germany or in Austria or in France would react to such a death threat? Will they love Israel? Will they love the Jews? Obviously not. And this is the most crucial point. If Jews do care about the future, they must now do everything within their capacity to stop this irresponsible lobby for dragging us into a total disaster.